This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Well, some of you may have noticed that we have a name change, and the reason for it is because Her Homestead Skills was more all about the things that I did. I started the channel, and Mark was really not that terribly involved at all. I mean, he was occasionally here and there, but not to any great degree. And since we purchased our homestead in Alabama, definitely a whole lot more involved. Now, I think that it was wiser to, I've been mulling over what I'm doing and what I have done, and I did start a second channel called our Alabama Homestead, and I will continue that. But I did not want to neglect this channel. We've worked long and hard at it. Been over 5 years now, and I think that we still will be doing a lot of the same things like canning and cooking and gardening and things of that nature, and so I don't want to walk away from this channel and start a whole new one. It wouldn't be worth it anyway. The thing is, the Alabama one, I probably would only be posting in that a few months out of the year, and then neglecting this one at that point would be not really all that smart. So I probably should have thought about this a little bit sooner before I made any changes, but I thought I would just update this channel. I'll continue to keep the other one, but it will mainly be for when we're down south. So this one will be all year round, and that is the main thing, that just to keep this one going all the time. Spent far too much effort and far too much time to let this one go. So that's my update, and I just wanted to put that out there before I do anything else. Now, Mark and I are prepping to go back down south very soon. We both miss the place terribly. And we both feel that there's probably still needing so many things that, needs our attention and needs to get done. So I don't know when exactly we'll be going, but we are thinking about making another trip down there pretty soon. We just don't want to take up too much of our time in the winter months, because we definitely want to spend the winter months down there. And so this is also my dilemma. I mean, what do you start down there? What do you start up here? Now, I do have some tomato seedlings that I planted, and they're small, so I should be able to get them into the ground here. I do have a garden here, which I plan to maintain and use, and it's a different gardening environment there than what it is here. So rather than being concerned about it, I think taking advantage of the different zones and what I can grow in one area, and when you plan to spend time in each one is really the issue. And right now we're just kind of up in the air about how we're doing this, but once it gets a little bit more settled, or if that bill passes that allows us to spend 240 days as opposed to just 180, well, we'll be spending more time down there, that's for sure. So then we might be able to get in a proper garden. I am kind of working at it slowly there. Definitely have some advantages. We definitely have some mature trees, which I'd never be able to plant here. And so I'm absolutely thrilled about that. But there still are some things that I can do here. I mean, all the stores are local here. I don't have to buy anything online. I do want to buy a bay tree. It's a sweet bay laurel, and that is basically a spice, but it is a tree. And I think that the only way I can get it down south is to order it online. I've looked and looked and looked, and that seems to be the only way I can get that. None of the big box stores carried it, and I mean, they had lemon trees, they had all kinds of very interesting different things than what we get here. but they didn't have the bay laurel. Now I can go into any nursery here and buy a bay laurel. And I believe I can bring one across the US, but right now, the way, no soil, you have to wash all the soil off, there's probably all kinds of rules, and I really don't want to get into any issues this time just because of all the changes. We want to make that as painless going across the next time as we possibly can. So more than likely, I will order it online when I'm down there and get it in the ground, and hopefully it will survive. Now, I also took a whole bunch of fig cuttings because I had to cut a branch down. And our friend from Mississippi, I gave her a ton of them. But I did stick about 10 cuttings in the ground and literally just stuck them in the ground. Did I have them in water? I don't even know. I did have some in water. I don't know if I gave Sherry those though. But if any of those have survived, taken root, they'll probably have to be dug up and put someplace. Like I literally just stuck 10 of them in the ground. And if, like I said, any of them survived, I will put them in a spot where I would want them to continue to grow. So that's on my mind. I do have some pots with herbs that I'd like to see if they've succeeded. They were in great big huge pots. So hopefully they've survived. And if not, I'm going to have to find some other way to do some gardening. Now, that was just a quick, because we didn't have the time, we didn't have the energy to do much. I mean, I'd love to get a greenhouse there, but that's not going to happen immediately. So, and with a greenhouse, I think you can probably have a lemon tree in there, which in a pot, of course. But that would be definitely something that I can't do here. So definitely something to take advantage of. Anyway, the big thing here was to explain why the channel name and what I'm doing. I also found that having 2 channels, 2 homesteads was a little bit, what am I doing? So I want to pull back, think about what I'm doing, do the name change that is more reflective of what's happening in our lives today, and hopefully you'll stay with us and enjoy what we put out in the future. And definitely we'll try and have Mark more involved as well. Anyway, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Talk to you real soon. Bye for now. Okay, so that's it. Have to learn to remember to say our homestead skills. Bye for now. Have a great day.